We start in kindergarten by working on our letters and sounds, and once we have those, we get more into some other lessons, focusing on phonemes and different sounds that we hear in words to help students start to hear the beginning, the middle, and the ending sound in words. So when we were riding the roller coaster, they could hear that beginning sound, the middle sound, and then again at the end.
And. Bat. Bat. At. Gap. Gap.
Wow, I love it. The other thing that's very important is the early foundation skills as far as rhyming recognition, being able to produce rhyming words. In nursery rhymes, we spend a lot of time on nursery rhymes, so we write that out, and then students are able to identify the rhyming words by hearing it and also seeing it visually. So we will write it on the poster, or we will put it up on the smart board, and they come up and identify those rhyming words, which again increases their hearing sounds and words and developing their early literacy skills. We also work a lot on sight words, which is just recognizing words by looking at them, and that connects to their reading and their writing also, so they can begin to develop those reading skills.
Fee. Fee. E.
Change to
E.
Tyler, I love how you're participating.
Over the last few years, we've been teaching from our new reading program, and I've loved it. I think the text that we're using is very rich, authentic text that the students really enjoy, and it's been amazing to see what they can do with this text. When I think about the level of vocabulary that is used, that the students are now using in their writing, and they're able to read and think about the close reading, how we really look at the text and we find details and we ask questions and they formulate questions and find answers and determine if they can find the answers.
You know what? It's a lot to write, but it's because we read so many great details. You guys are just so good at coming up with these details, we have to add them.
It's amazing to see the kind of language they use as they talk about text now. And one thing I've told a lot of people is that I feel like I'm not teaching them to read, I'm teaching them to be a reader, which is something they can use in every aspect of their life, which I think is a very valuable thing.
Fourth grade, I always tell my students that when they come to me, that my goal for them is to not learn how to read, but read to learn. I want them to develop the passion of reading and understand that reading can follow them throughout their life, and the importance of really becoming a strong, independent reader. And in ReadyGen, I feel like it fosters a lot of that because it allows me to start them with a big question, and we work our way down through the essential question and then also their learning targets that we focus on. And in each class, we always revisit those learning targets and look at the essential question and understand the connection that we're making from each text that we read throughout each unit and each module. I also find a lot of cross-curricular connections in the text that we read in fourth grade, so the students really can find interest. And my students that are more passionate in social studies and science, when we read a text that has something to do with an element that they've already learned in science and social studies, they have that confidence that they feel that they can participate more in class and share their learning and share their understanding, and I feel that they then develop the true understanding that reading is learning, and that follows them throughout the rest of their day and throughout the rest of the year. Change that I've noticed since we've switched to ReadyGen, I've noticed a big improvement in my students' writing. We do a lot of writing every day along with the reading of each text, and I think that they've become more confident in their writing because we do a lot of modeling, and that also carries through in their other subject areas as well. And one of the coolest things that I've noticed is that other teachers will come to me when they have a short written response in one of their classes. They're showing me that the students are carrying that over, whether it's an opinion writing, they're following the strategies of the Oreo writing that I teach them, and then also just making sure that they're using the text evidence, and they truly understand that in order to share their information, they really need to recall on the text, and I think ReadyGen really teaches the students to do that.
And so it's been a revelation to see the kind of discussions you can have with a 7 and 8-year-old, and then watch them. The best part is watching them then take that, and then when they're reading a book outside of our text that we're doing as a whole class, they're reading it in independent reading, or they're reading it in a small group, and they're having those same kind of conversations with their peers or with me about a completely different text, and you're like, okay, it's working. This is what we do. This is why we're doing it.